Okay, so that's it. Gaber runner. Okay, no sir. Okay, let's start. Okay, so hope you guys are remember. Let's give a summarization about what we discussed this in the last 2 weeks back ago about the Streamlit part one. We discussed about it. What is the importance of the Streamlit? What the Streamlit can do that, and this Streamlit is going to be how it is help us for a data analyst and data scientist and full stack developers in a quick manner. In a quick manner, because we don't need to be expertise on the UI side, but still we can build a web apps as a shareable URL, as a shareable URLs makes our life is an easier when you're going with this Streamlit library. Streamlit library. This is one of the type you can call it as deployment, but in the last session I mentioned about it. To publish on the Streamlit, you should be either has been which one, either pro license or community. If you go with the community, it is going to be shared with the public. Shared with the public. If you go with the pro, then what has happened? It is only private. What has happened? Private. Right? So it will not going to be published to the public. That feature will be there, but it's a commercial. But we saw that one of those what is that? It's a 30-day free trial we have when you visited the Streamlit, correct, right? So whenever you guys are ready, start create that account and then try to test it out how it is happens. Right. So, and also we discussed about it, right? How these are like widgets, right? Basic widgets. We learn about it, the very basic widgets, these widgets, and how to write it by using in the Python file, by creating a virtual environment, and then how we can run it. All the stuff we learn it in that process. Cut it. And also I shared that all the widgets zip file with you guys to practice, to understand how it has happened. Example, we shared with you like write, right, how to write it, and how to numpy with the data frame and map, right? So, and line chart, and some of an examples it is shared with you like how can you use this as a table, how it is going to be print. And we saw that checkbox, select box, slider, and text. So these kind of a stuff we saw that. And we saw that some of this expanders, progress, and sidebar. So this maybe you guys are not seen it, okay, because the layout related, but I'll going to show you that, and after that I'll going to demonstrate you that how the widgets is going to be with the basic example. Now let's see in this. Here I'm going to be run today, right? So let's say basic layout. In a layout, let's try to understand this sidebar.py. So let's observe in this how it is opening as a sidebar. This is already inbuilt feature what we have on the Streamlit, right? So for that, I don't need to be worry about it. Simply, I can use this, which one? Sidebar. st.sidebar. Once we imported the Streamlit, what we can do? Sidebar and inside we added the select box, right? So you guys can see in this, correct, right? You guys can see email, home phone, and mobile phone as a drop down. We can able to see this, right? So this is the what? This is the label, and these are the options. These options has been given as how? As a set or tuple, right? It is given as tuple within this function. If you guys have seen in this, it's clearly showing us the first attribute as a label, as a string, and options you need to be given the sequence, right, as a select box purpose, right? So that where it is has been given, and as well as it is added the slider. It is added the slider. For slider, it is adding giving which one? Label and minimum value, maximum value, and values. This has been given here. We can able to see. So previously, in a previous widgets, what we understand for a slider, we are giving like this. Correct, right? Slider X, this is going to be take the value and then it is going to be written, right? Same thing, but it is adding into where? Sidebar. St dot sidebar. Now it is st dot sidebar dot slider. That's it. Now here st dot slider, and when you're coming into the sidebar, it is going to be st dot sidebar dot slider. That's it. Very simple. Automatically, it is going to be created the sidebar to you, and then it is going to be render on your left side. So this is can be minimize it and it can be open. Means close and open feature. Also, we have this. See, we don't need to be obviously to do this. We need to write a lot of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Then only it will going to be appears to you. But what is happening? Simple one line. I just created one line. Correct, right? st dot sidebar. So st dot sidebar is helping to inside as per the sequence. First add the select box and then it is going to be add the slider. Let's say if I take this one into the top, now my order is going to be changed. Now first is a slider, then select box. Now we need to be understand that in which order the content or a widget has to be appeared in the which one vertically. In the layout, how it will be vertical. Correct, right? So this is a vertical. In this vertical, the which one is the first? Generally, we call them this one is column. What is that? Column layout. Inside the sidebar, the widgets are going to be rendered in the column layout. Column layout. It's trying to occupy this, all the stuff for a row. Means single one column we can able to see this. So these kind of things will going to be seen when you go with this. Similarly, there is a progress is also there. Let me try to show you how this is going to be works for you. See, there is a progress bar, right? It's starting the long computation. We can able to show that. Now, this kind of a animation, right? So also we can able to add it like this by simply going which one? st dot progress. But initially it is st dot progress value is how much? 0. For that bar, we are trying to again add this progress with this incremental by using which one? Loop. Automatically that it is going to be created because whenever the value has been going on that, it is going to be for that we use this time sleep also. Because this loop has to be not like immediately, it has to be how much time sleep is happening? 0.1 seconds. 0.1 seconds. That's how that smoothness. If you see this, it's look like, right? That smoothness is coming on the animation because of this. Suppose say if I commented this, now What has happened? The smoothness. See, it's already filled because the for loop is that much. Even your browser or even see how much faster it is. There is no smoothness on this, how it has to be. But here by adding the sleep 0.1 seconds, it's approximately how much in how much milliseconds? 100 milliseconds. Sorry, milliseconds, sir. Seconds and milliseconds. 10 power of minus 3. Correct, right? So 0.1 means how many milliseconds? 100. Now you guys can see that it is like how much smoother it is. Understood, right? So that way by adding it to this, you guys can see here, and in that also we are showing that what is the value is changing. Means there's a binding. We call them as data binding. The text binding on the UI side. In the technically, the developers going to call them as data binding. Binding. We call them as binding. So now this binding is happening automatically. Whenever the data has been changing, because this progress value initially how much? 0. Correct, right? And every 100 milliseconds, this value is changing. Every 100 milliseconds, this value is changing by using an incremental because we used I in range 100. Range 100, it will going to be generate which one? A list. Correct, right? List width from 0 to 99. Now, obviously, 0 plus 1, 1. Now, 1 plus 1, 2. Correct, right? So, automatically, the value is being increasing. Whenever the value is increasing, the data binding on the UI side, it is automatically happening. Automatically. So, this one we call them as DOM refresh. What is that? DOM refresh. In HTML, there is a concept called DOM, D-O-M, DOM, right? So this DOM is automatically because I can understand this is not your subject, but I'm trying to give an idea about it, what is happening this function in this. Hope you guys are trying to be understand. Oh, let's say this will take care of by the Streamlit. I'm not created any HTML, I'm not created any CSS, but this function, so-called st.progress, and what is happening? It's automatically adding. Similarly, what we have st.empty. st.empty means it is created an empty widget. It is created a empty widgets like an empty paragraph. It's going to be created a empty paragraph. You guys can see in this. Insert a single element container. Single element container, but there is no value or inside of any chain. It is not going to be there in this. Understood, right? So that kind of a things will be there. Now, for that, whatever the assign that object is created for that, by using that object reference, what we are adding the text. We're adding a text. Let me try to see this by inspect on this browser. What is happening in this? It is created what? A div. What is that? It is created a div. You guys are able to see that? It is created a div. Inside a div, it is added the text. That's how it is adding like dot text. Let's say if insert, if I want to be add a HTML, I can do that by simply attaching like dot HTML, dot HTML or dot code. Like this, if I add it, it is going to be show that content is differently inside of the right. So just to trying to be give the idea about it, how this is going to be happen technically. just giving the information. Means Streamlit not only generating the UI widgets, it is also going to take care about this a data binding. Whenever the value changes onto your text or a data, automatically try to reflect on the web DOM by doing a refresh. With it's not a page refresh, it's a refresh. Means HTML refresh inside of the page, right? So that is also will going to be take care of it. So we are not done or we are not created so much, but you guys can see in this, once this loop has been completed and then try to add it within a single quotation. But here we are not uh, given either print or we are not saying that st dot write, but simply what we given in a single quotation saying that we are done. The Streamlit again, because this it is running on the Streamlit, by using a Streamlit run on this file, automatically empty strings, what is that? Empty strings will go into be converted into a another widgets like st.write. st.write. So now if you inspect here, again, if you see this, it's added as a paragraph. It's added a paragraph. Now, even see, even if I'm not right used or imported any Streamlit on my Python file, what is happening? It is going to be, if I just in that file given as an empty text, what is that? Empty text, it is going to be rendered as a paragraph. Let me try to prove you that with you by going one of the file called test.py. In test.py, I'm not importing anything. Means no Streamlit is not imported. No, like we are does not using that Streamlit reference and not using any method to call it. No, nothing is written. Simply it's a static text. That is also hello world. Correct, right? So now let's see if I run this one test.py, what is happening? Hello world is king. Right? So that means this module, Streamlit module, which is going to be convert, if it is find out any, which one, string, it will convert it into a, like print. Like you guys have seen it on your, which one, Jupyter, you don't need to mention that variable with the print. What your Jupyter will do? Simply if you say A, it is going to be print. But what we are going to learn to print a variable on the console, what we need to do, print of A. But Jupyter does not require to mention as specifically like a print of A. If I say A, if I say A is equals to 20 and then say A, automatically it will be print on the Jupyter. Right? So means the engine, running engine will take care of it. What is the content inside of when it's evaluating on the Python file? On that Python file. Now that is has been. Sorry, sir. Where, sir? Here? Huh? After the text. Huh? Already come is there. Yeah, yes, sir. Added right. Come. Okay, so now you can add something else like. Did I given a comma in there? Right. So here, did I given a comma? Right. For the testing purpose, just that it will come or not. Understood, Nasa? So this way it is going to be works. Hope you guys are understand this. This is the power of this engine which is running by the module called Streamlit. Right? So Streamlit is going to doing here what? Please try to understand. This is the most important stuff here. Let's say the Streamlit first read the content from the Python file. It is going to be whatever you are going to be write a program. There's a content as a file perspective. As a file perspective. Streamlit space run space file name we are giving or file path we are giving. Now, inside whatever the content we have in that file, it is going to be read it. It is going to be read it. Now, once it is read it is going to be converted according to Streamlit. It is not evaluating by the Python. It is evaluating by which one? Streamlit. It's evaluating by the Streamlit. Now, Streamlit have inside means there is a Python. Streamlit inside we have a Python with HTTP server. What is that? HTTP server with UI widgets. With UI widgets. Now, here we cannot call them as a framework, so we can call it as module. That's how we call it as module. Right? So this modules you can able to be run very easily like this. Understood? So this is very, very beautiful for us. Now, let's focus on this similar kind of another example by going on to the expander. So please try to see in this what I'm trying to do. Now, in this expander, you guys can see in this, right? So the first, what we are trying to do, creating as a two columns. What is that? st dot columns. How many columns? Two columns. Means in a row, we are creating two columns. Now, in this left column and right column, right? Whatever it is going to be written, it is going to be written as a list that is going to be converted into a variable by using a comma separated in a Python. One is left column, another one is the right column. After that, what we are trying to do, we are trying to keep on the left column side which one? Button. Means st dot button. Now it is going to be left column dot button. Means inside the column we are adding a button. The button inside the label is press me. Now in the right side column, now we are working which one? With the right side. So this is a one method. You can able to do this by just adding a single like this, like a st dot sidebar, like this you can do that. Or else even better, you can call the Streamlit functions inside a with block. What is that? With block. There's a beautiful, you can say the keyword on a Python side called with. Especially this is used by this lot of programming side, especially in the development side, we will use this one, right? With right block inside, we are going to say that choose an st dot radio buttons, that radio buttons, the label, obviously we need to give the options. Now st dot right, st dot right. Now whatever you are going to do this, that is going to be appended to which one? Right call. Or else you can do in other method, right underscore column dot radio and right underscore column dot right. Right? So rather than what we are trying to do this by using the with clause, right? We are trying to be make sure that is happen inside of that. Whatever it is happening inside of the with, it is appended to a right column. Now that's what we can able to see this. Let's say if I press save, you can see this and you can see whenever the value is also changes what is happening, you can able to see the text here. Because whatever I chosen the value, because the radio is going to be written, right? What it is going to be written? The radio, which one you chosen, which one you are chosen, that value it is going to be written from this, which one list, right? We given as a triple, but it is going to be like this. Now what is happening here? It is going to be happens. Sir, why it is taking a triple? Why can't it is taking a list? What might be the reason? List is an order or unordered? Ordered. Huh? Ordered. Triple? Seriously? Ordered? So then why can't we give it as a list? Uh-huh. So, so last time also previously we saw that which one for a drop down. In the sidebar, we saw that in the drop down, he consider which one? Tuple only, not a list. Why? Why is choosing a tuple? Correct, na, sir. Just curiosity, I'm asking, sir. You get it this kind of questions on your mind? Okay. Can I write it like this? And go back. What is happening? Is it working? Sir? Sorry, sir. Rerun, na? Refresh this, na, sir? Refreshing, sir? Huh? Okay, sir. For you, I'll see Control C and then restart, sir. For safe side, sir. Now, okay, na, sir? Ah. Sir, for your doubt, I can go into tell that here it is. I'm running the expander.py. Here also, I run this command called Streamlit run expander for your confirmation, sir. Ah. So what is happening, sir? I can able to take it as a list. I can take it as a list. Correct? Even whatever I choose it, what is happening? The value is also coming. Then y has been considered as a tuple. What is an advantage here? నాకు వినిపించట్లేదు సార్ నాకు చెవుడు అనుకుంటా థింక్ చేయండి okay think about it right so why here because you guys have seen this options as saying that which one options sequence if you come little scroll down right so where is that options is iterator it's a iteratable and the labels of the select options in iteratable this can be a list set or anything supported by st dot data frame. If the options is data frame like, the first column will be used. Each label will be cast to which one? String and internally by default. Understood? So labels can be included markdown as described in the label parameter and will be cast to string internally by default. Now think about it, why it is happening like this. Right? So think about it. So why this tuple is better than the list? Think about it and then share it on your WhatsApp groups. Okay. So now coming back into this. Right? So understood, right? So now to convert your page into a columns, what you can do? st dot columns comes. అక్కడే కూర్చోవాలా సార్ ఏం సార్ కనిపిస్తుంది సార్ కూర్చోండి fine sir right so it is going to be converted into multiple columns now if I say this is a 3 right so what is going to happen it is going to throw the error because left peak right so now what we can say this first column second column comma third column obviously we need to say this first column and second column. Now, if I refresh it, what has happened? The width has been reduced. If you observe previously, it is like this one here, this one here. Now, what has happened? We have a now by going on to this third column, I can say this third column dot slider, say this some x. Now, if I refresh it, we can able to see that. Now, I can add this another one without a width I'm doing here. It is third column dot what I can say right. And inside what you can say you're in x like this. Now, first we need to assign to the value y is equals to and this one we need to take it. So now what has happened currently? You are in right. So now let's see what is happening. Values also change. Now these two lines I can make it or work it by using which one? Width also. How? By saying like width, which one? Third column and colon. Now, sir, already I added two widgets. I already added a two widgets by using which one? Method. But now I'm adding again using a width. Is it going to be overwrite or it is going to be append? Correct, right? These kind of questions, it is coming into my mind. So let's see this. St dot write hello world. So now if I go here, what is happening? Appending. What's happening? Appending. So we don't need to worry about it. So how this library is working, we can understand that. Now it doesn't matter. You can use both. Means without a width also you can do that. By using width also you can do that. But advantage it is going to be as a group in one place. Can I have with multiple width? Can I have a multiple width? Understood, right? So now let's say I'm going to do this. We did it for first column, second column, third column in a sequence. Now I'm going with the again second column. In a second column, I'm going to be like st dot button inside, let's say, click. And now what is happening? Now it doesn't matter where you are on which line you are adding, if these are in a sequence or not for a columns. For a columns. Understood, right? So I'm not added in the sequence. Now, first define the first column, second column, next third column in the sequence. Again, we are adding the second column. But exactly this placed on where? Second column itself. So we in front of the in front of buttons line. Second column. Second column in front of the front on top. How it will be happens, sir? In the sequence now. So it is going to be appending. I'm saying that, not prepending. It is appending. Now, obviously, if you want it, you need to do what? This has to be taken to the top. Now, let me take to the top. Now, before the first, what I'm doing? Before the first. Okay, sir. Now, what's happened? Click into the. Understood, sir. Clear? Clear? Anyone have any queries? Anyone have any queries on this? Online? Pravalika, Suresh, Tarun. Okay. Now,
as it is appending, like std columns will give you a sequence, right?
sorry, can you repeat again?
As it append when we write with clause, it's appending. What does the st columns gives? Like we are assigning variables, right? First column, second column.
Second column.
Like which one it gives? As it appending, we can append through list. It gives any sequence or like.
So this one,
Yes, sir.
I didn't get you understand. Still, can you repeat? తెలుగులో కూడా అడగచ్చు.
లిస్ట్ లో అపెండ్ లిస్ట్ లో సీక్వెన్స్ లోనే కదా సార్ మనం అపెండ్ చేయాలి.
ఎస్ సార్, అపెండ్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఎక్కడ యాడ్ అవుతుంది?
లాస్ట్ లో
లాస్ట్.
ఆ సీక్వెన్స్ ఇప్పుడు ఎస్టీ డాట్ కాలమ్స్ అనే సీక్వెన్స్ మనకి వస్తుందా?
సీక్వెన్స్ అంటే ఫస్ట్ కాలమ్స్ క్రియేట్ అవుతాయి కదా సార్, ఫస్ట్ కాలమ్స్ క్రియేట్ అవుతాయి కదా.
అంటే వాటిని సీక్వెన్స్ కింద కన్సిడర్ చేయొచ్చు ఎస్టీ డాట్ కాలమ్స్ అని ఇప్పుడు అసైన్ చేస్తున్నాం కదా వాటికి.
అవును సార్, కాలమ్స్ లేకోకుండా మీరు ఇన్సైడ్ కంటెంట్ యాడ్ చేయలేరు కదా. సో లెట్స్ సే ఈ కాలమ్స్ ఉండడం వల్లనే మీరు ఇన్సైడ్ డేటాని ఇలా ఫార్మాట్ చేయగలుగుతున్నారు. లేదంటే నార్మల్గా ఎలా అయిపోతుంది?
ఇప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు మనం ఇప్పుడు ఇలా ఎప్పుడు చేస్తామంటే అన్జిప్ చేసినప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు డిక్షనరీకి అలా చేయడానికి చేస్తాం కదా. అన్జిప్ చేసినప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు సపోజ్
ఎస్టీ డాట్ కాలమ్స్ యొక్క అవుట్పుట్ ఏముంటుంది సార్? సీక్వెన్సా లేకుంటే
కాలమ్స్ అని చెప్తుంది, లిస్ట్. లిస్ట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు బి రిటర్న్ యాజ్ అ లిస్ట్, బట్ దాని లిస్ట్ ని నేను ఎలా కన్వర్ట్ చేసుకున్నాను ఇక్కడ? బై యూజింగ్ కామా సపరేటెడ్ దట్ లిస్ట్ వాల్యూస్, ఈ అవుట్పుట్ వచ్చే లిస్ట్ వాల్యూని నేను దేనికి అసైన్ చేసుకుంటున్నాను? ఫస్ట్ కాలమ్, సెకండ్ కాలమ్ అండ్ థర్డ్ కాలమ్. I'm taking as a variable. I'm taking as a variable. Inside a variable like value ni assign చేసుకుంటున్నాను. Each value on this list, whatever the output is come na, in that output list, each value it is an object. It is a object. Which object? ST object. That's the reason what is happened. First column dot button. Generally, what we can do this here, ST dot button. But how can we add it? First column dot button. Right? So we are doing this, right? Happening, right? Methods calling. So if you are calling a method, this first column, what is that? Object. Object. Correct, right? So now this is an instance of which one? ST. Means each value in a column or in a progress and sidebar. The sidebar is also instance of ST. So that's how I can able to use which one? Select box. Understood, right? So ST dot sidebar. Now this one I can assign to the variable. Let's say like this. Sidebar equals to ST dot sidebar. Now simply what I can do? Sidebar dot slider, sidebar dot select box. Understood now, sir? Now this is instance of which one? ST dot sidebar is instance of ST. Now similarly here also the same. ST dot column is instance of ST. But columns, we are saying that columns. Columns are multiple in a row. In a row, especially in a layout. In a layout. Generally, this UI UX side will going to be considered 12 columns. How many? 12 columns. If anyone idea about it, CSS frameworks like Bootstrap, Tailwind, all that, if anyone heard about it, now in that we are going to be considered 12, 24 like that. We're going to be consider a column in a row. What is that? In a row. That's a layout concept. We call them as layout concept. Understood now, sir? So now sometimes you see this. If you go to the Amazon, when you search the product, you're going to have 4 cards or 3 cards in a row. In a row. That we call them as grid layout. We call it as grid layout. In the grid layout, the 12 columns has been converted into 3 columns. 12 columns has been converted into 3 columns or 4 columns. Means automatically the size, what is going to be? The column size will be increases. The width of the column size will be increases. Understood now, sir? Got the idea? No. Let me by taking into right. I'm going into the Amazon. Let's say I'm trying to search for something called here. Let's say what you guys can see in this. Correct, right? So 4 columns are coming. Now in this 4 columns, let's observe what is happening. This is let's consider 12 columns. We are going to be consider this part into 12 columns. Now in this 12 columns, this is might be like how many? Because look like this is a 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. Sir, but this width is very small now. This width is small now. So that's how in this design, he's made it like this one as a 3. And this one is the 2. This one is 2 columns, 2 columns, 2 columns, 2 columns. Understood, right? So they're going to be adjusted like this. Or else it is going to be 2.5. This is going to be, what is that? 2.5. Understood? So now this is going to be 1. This is going to be 1. How much it is came now? So then it is going to be 3 now. Now it is going to be 12 columns. Now that's how the width, again, it will be width will be changes. Understood? So in a row, again, it is a row. Now how many rows like that? Let's see in this. If you come down, I have how many? Now I divided as a 3, the columns like a 3 parts. Let's say this is a 1 column, this is a 1 column, again 1 column. Now inside this column, again I'm divided as 4 columns. With how many number of rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11. This way. Understood, right? So this way the system or the developers or UX guy or UI guy will going to be design it. Understood, right? That we call the concept called layout. What is that? Layout. Clear, sir? Understood? Any doubts? Any another doubts? Sorry, sir. నేను లేఅవుట్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఎలా చేయాలో నేర్చుకుంటున్నామండి. వీఆర్ ఎంటరింగ్ ఇన్ టు ద లిటిల్ అడ్వాన్స్డ్, నాట్ సూపర్ అడ్వాన్స్డ్. మనము ఒక పేజ్ని క్రియేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఒక రో ఎలా క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవాలి, కాలమ్స్ లాగా ఎలా చేసుకోవాలో నేర్చుకుంటున్నాం. బై డిఫాల్ట్ స్ట్రీమ్లెట్ ఈస్ కమింగ్ విత్ ద రో లేఅవుట్. మనం ఏది యాడ్ చేసినా ఫస్ట్ రోలో యాడ్ అవుతుంది, సెకండ్ రోలో యాడ్ అవుతుంది, థర్డ్ రోలో యాడ్ అవుతుంది, ఫోర్త్ రోలో యాడ్ అవుతుంది. అంతేనా? కరెక్టేనా? Means entire page ni it is considered as how many columns? Single column la consider చేశాడు. అంటే ఒక్కొక్క విడ్జెట్ కి ఒక్కొక్క రో అసైన్ చేస్తూ వచ్చాడు. నాకు అలా వద్దు, నాకు అలా కాదు. నాకేంటి ఒకే రోలో ఏం కావాలి? 3 columns లా కావాలి. అంటే విడ్జెట్ ఇక్కడ ఆప్షన్ రావాలి, ఇక్కడ రావాలి, ఇక్కడ రావాలి. అంటే సైడ్ బై సైడ్ రావాలి, సైడ్ బై సైడ్ రావాలి. ఇప్పుడు సైడ్ బై సైడ్ ఎలా పెట్టుకోవాలి? కరెక్టేనా? సో నార్మల్గా కాలమ్స్ లేకపోతే నాకేమైపోతుంది, రైట్, స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ లాగా వచ్చేస్తుంది. నాకు ఆ యూఐ వద్దు, నాకేం కావాలి, సైడ్ బై సైడ్ కావాలి. సైడ్ బై సైడ్ కావాలి అంటే ఏం చేసుకోవాలి, కాలమ్స్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవాలి. అదే మనం నేర్చుకుంటాం, st డాట్ కాలమ్స్. దాంతో పాటు నాకు ఒక సైడ్ బార్ కావాలి, దాంతో పాటు ఒక సైడ్ బార్ లో నేను మెనూ పెట్టుకోవచ్చు, సైడ్ బార్ లో మెనూ పెట్టుకోవచ్చు, మెనూతో పాటు ఆప్షన్స్ పెట్టుకోవచ్చు, రైట్. సో దానికోసం మనం ఏం నేర్చుకున్నాం, సైడ్ బార్ డాట్, కరెక్టే కదా, st డాట్ సైడ్ బార్. ఇది ఆటోమేటిక్ గా లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ ఏం క్రియేట్ చేస్తుంది, సైడ్ బార్ ని క్రియేట్ చేస్తుంది. సో దట్స్ వాట్, ఇఫ్ యూ మోజోర్ ఆన్ ఇట్ యూ విల్ అండర్స్టూడ్. లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ మనం చూసాం కదా, లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ ఒక సైడ్ బార్, ఆ సైడ్ బార్ లో కూడా కంటెంట్ పెట్టుకోవచ్చు. దానికి ఎలా చేస్తున్నాం, సైడ్ బార్ డాట్ స్లైడర్, సైడ్ బార్ డాట్ సెలెక్ట్ బాక్స్, st డాట్ సైడ్ బార్ డాట్ స్లైడర్ అనొచ్చు. కాకపోతే నేను ఏం చేశాను, ఒక వేరియబుల్ కి క్రియేట్ చేసుకొని అసైన్ చేసి ఆ వేరియబుల్ ని రిఫరెన్స్ గా వాడుకొని మళ్ళీ మెథడ్ ని కాల్ చేస్తున్నాను. Understood? So this is what it's going to be happen to create a UI widgets with data binding. What is that? With the data binding. ఎందుకంటే వాల్యూ చేంజ్ అయిపోగానే కింద ఏమవుతుంది, వాల్యూ కూడా చేంజ్ అవుతుంది. కరెక్టేనా? దీన్ని రియల్ టైమ్ గవర్నెన్స్ అంటారు. డేటా బైండింగ్ లో ఏంటంటే వెన్ ఎవర్ వాల్యూ చేంజెస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ హ్యాస్ టు హ్యాపెన్. దీన్ని లైవ్ స్క్రిప్ట్ ద్వారా చేస్తారు. సో వాట్ ఈస్ అవర్ లైవ్ స్క్రిప్ట్ ఏంటి, వెబ్ లో లైవ్ స్క్రిప్ట్ లాంగ్వేజ్ ఏంటి, జావా స్క్రిప్ట్. కరెక్టే కదా, విన్నారు ఎప్పుడన్నా జావా స్క్రిప్ట్ అని పేరు, రైట్. సో జావా స్క్రిప్ట్ కి ఫస్ట్ నేమ్ లైవ్ స్క్రిప్ట్. ఓకే, సండేస్ మనం ఖాళీగా ఉంటాం కదా, సో ఉన్నప్పుడు అమ్మాయిలతో చాట్ చేసే బదులు అమ్మాయిల ప్రొఫైల్ ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్ లో చూసేటప్పుడు హిస్టరీ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయండి. Who created this one, who created ww, why they created, why they invented, right, what is the purpose of they created, just for understanding, curiosity కోసం, right. Very interesting stories ఉంటాయి, చాలా interesting stories. The ww is who invented a nuclear scientist. Understood? So the reason is different, the purpose is different on in their project. He's working on a nuclear plant as a scientist. Understood, right? So there is a lot of things will be there, right? For every language or protocols or a purpose, we are going to have it, right? Live script. Initially the name they given as live script, that is given by which one? Netscape. Anyone heard about Netscape? Very old one. Very old one. So now they renamed as JavaScript because it is after it is came the Java, and lot of similarities of there with the Java. Lot of similarities also with the Java language. Anyone heard about Java language? Right? Your faces are like that, sir. That's how I had questions. Right? So that's how we are calling as JavaScript. Now, Microsoft came with this at the same time with the JScript. JScript. So that's how universally what is happened, not universally, worldwide, what is happened, there's a confusion is created. That's how, and the international organization perspective, right? That is the name has been changed, ECMA. ECMA. But for when we are calling for our purpose, we are still calling as a JavaScript. But for standardized purpose, for a deployment purpose, we are going to call them as ECMA. ECMA means European Computer Manufacturing Association. Right? That's a ECMA. So in ECMA, we have 1.0 release, 2.0 release, 3.0, 4.0, 5 point, like it will be there. So currently we are in this 11 or something, ECMA 11.0. Understood, right? So now Microsoft, again, they did like one more thing is because the Netscape is try to in the market, try to get their name with the JavaScript. Microsoft intelligently came with this another on top of on means on over the JavaScript. They came with another language called
Okay.
TypeScript. TypeScript. What is that? TypeScript. Understood? So because in JavaScript, they does not have a strong data typing. It does not have a data typing. So that they bring it, what are the problem have it by using a TypeScript. Now this is the TypeScript is the most popular now because who's are building a web applications by using a React, Angular, Vue.js, all the stuff using by TypeScript only. Understood, sir? This is the game, sir. Obviously, right? So that's how Google is coming with the Angular. Google come up with the Angular. To work on it, this is a creating a lot of messy. Google come up with the another one is Flutter. So now the Flutter is a game changer because if you write a one single source code, you can build a desktop, you can build a web app, you can build a mobile app. So that's how Flutter we call them as hybrid app. Hybrid app. So in that they are going to be used the language called Dart. The Dart is an inspiration from a JavaScript. Understood, sir? So that's a very interesting, sir. Right? Very, very interesting subjects by going to the history compared to the girls. Very, very interesting stuff, sir. Clear? Okay, come back. Now let's focus on which one? One of this demo, I wanted to take you this widgets demo. Let's try to see this here, what I'm trying to be when I run it, what is happens. This is the last one, sir. I'm not going to take you because I'm going to be run another part 3. In the part 3, I'm going to be show that data analytics, data science, how we can able to take it in this. Now we are in this as a 3-part series. In that first we learn the basics. Now we are trying to understand the layout. In the third series of it, we are going to be understand how can we use it for a data analytics and data science purpose. Right? So now you can see this. Now obviously, sir, we can able to add a text, but the text should be bold. The text should be header, look like a header. Now, how can we get it and how can we make it? By going through which one, sir? Title. What is that? Title. Now, you guys can see here it is. Now, by going through this left and right. In that left and right, the left side is 9 columns, right side is 1 column. Just now I explained it, right? Right? I can make it. Let's say here consider as how many total columns? 10 columns, not 12 columns. It's considered as 10 columns. In a 10 columns, the 9 columns is assigned to this left side and then 1 column is assigned to the right side. Now, the left side, we are adding which one? Widgets. Right? So the widgets demo, inputs and controls. There's a title. The title is going to come in this H1 tag. If you see this, what is that? H1 tag in a HTML. It is obviously will come up with the CSS styles will come into the picture, right? So that's how it is. Next, it is used as markdown. Now it is going to be as a paragraph. Now, next in the right side, it is adding which one? Logo, image. What is that? Image. And then it is added on the right side as a logo. right? So that logo is trying to be get it by using a function called get logo URL. It is going to be written the a URL. Means obviously in a HTML site to add an image on that, you're going to be use image tag with the src. Image tag with src. Src is going to be nothing but source, which is going to be like URL. Right, that URL we are trying to be get it from by using another utility file, and then that we are trying to be give it with the width is 90, the size it is like 90. Now after that it is trying to be add some basic inputs. In this basic inputs we are trying to add again 3 columns. Now in the first row we divided as 9 comma 1. Now in the second row, because it is breaking st dot header. Now the title is came with the h1, header is going to be h2. The headers are like from h1 to h6. h1 to h6. Maybe it's a little confusion for who does not know the HTML. I can understand that, but try to follow that how it is happens. Headers are sizes based on the font size. It is divided on a HTML content side from 1 to 6. That is the range. 1 is the highest, 6 is the least. 6 is the least. These headers are obviously bolded. It is going to be bold, that we call them as font weight on the CSS. Style side we call them as font weight. This font weight is also based on the fonts. It will be range from 100 to 700. 100 to 700, right? So generally it is going to be 300 to 400 for a normal, and 500 means semi bold, and medium. 600 is a medium, 700 is the bold. Like that it is going to be defined on that font sizes. Now again the 3 columns has been divided, C1, C2, C3, by using the width. What we are trying to do, text input. What is that? Text input. Text input. The second one is age, but by using which one? Number input, not text input. It's a number input. The number input will come with the plus and minus. Plus and minus. And obviously it is coming with the checkbox. Checkbox with the label. We can able to see this. Like this, you can see this another. Which one? Hello means this is not part of the column, right? So C1, C2, C3, it is going to be added in the next row. That's how it is started with ST, not either by using a width or by using C1, C2, C3. Directly it is going to be means it is going to be created another new row. Inside we are given as hello name, age, and agreed or not. Agreed or not. So here if you give this, obviously star star and star star, it is going to be added which one? Bold. It is going to be added as a bold on the text. Obviously f string, I hope you guys knows it. This is the variables are going to be replaced, but star star is going to be converted into bold on that markup language. What is that? In the markup language. Now, again, this header is added. Which one? Selection widgets. Inside, we added like all the stuff, radio, select box, multi-select, right? So this is what? This is a single select. This is a multi-select. This is a multi-select. Whatever the value is selected, the output is coming here as a list. As a list. You guys can see that, and then sliders, and then date and color. This is the slider. This is the range select. Correct, right? This is a range. This is the color picker, right? You guys can see that. Understood? So now similarly, you can see this file upload. What is that? File upload. And camera also, it is there. Right? So you can take a photo also. that photo, it is going to be appended in the bottom. This is most important for a data science, especially CV based. In the data science, we need to give a picture, right? CV based. Anyone heard about it? Machine learning, open CV. Okay, no response. Okay. Now, obviously, again, with the border, correct, right? So that you can able to see that how to read a CSV file upload, and then take a photo by using st.image. Now, whichever the camera input, what is that? Camera input, and then I can able to render once has been taken the picture. If you're not taken the picture, it is not going to come. That's how we return the if condition. Now, by using a contact form, what is that? We are creating a form. We are creating a form. Inside you can add a text select box and all the stuff. When the form has been submitted, means the button, when you click on it, when your button is click on it, it is going to show me the message like success message, st.success. In the success, you can able to see how it is comes. I can show the error also, st.error. In that I can able to tell the message what it is. Understood, sir? So that way it is comes under where st.form. This is a form related also we can able to handle. Now there is another one is session state. Example, there is like increment count, data binding. What is that? Whenever I clicking on this button, the value is increasing here. Right? So that's what is given on this. Right? So this is what for your best practices it is has been created. Understood, sir? Clear? Right? So we're going to be share this file with you again, the zip file. And last time I given that a demo or not demo learning material with you, if you guys are remember or not, which is created by the Streamlit as a URL. So there's a 30 days, day 1, day 2, day 3. Did you guys, for me, it is not a 30 days. It's hardly like 5 to 6 hours. 5 to 6 hours. So please, if who's are not done that, please try to go through that again, which is already shared on your groups. That link is already there, right? Try to learn it, right? So this is most important. It become a part of our life now. So don't take a very light. Streamlit is mandatory now. Now, in the part 3 is the most important for now for us, especially for data analyst and data scientist. We are going to see that analytical purpose, how we can show the with the line graph, right? Whatever the charts, pie chart with the data, especially by taking the pandas, which is converted into that as a data analytics point of view. That anyhow, you guys are going to do the Jupyter side. When you do the Jupyter, you use this Seaborn matplotlib to convert it into this, but those are not in the shareable format. Those are going to be generated images. Those does not have an interactivity, right? That does not have a interactivity. You remember or not, in the part 1 I explained about there's a 3 principles. In the 3 principles, the first most important agenda of this Streamlit is interactivity. What is that? Interactivity. Now, we don't have an interactivity when you're going with what we have it currently. So to bring that interactivity, the people are using which one? Streamlit. By using the UI widgets. By using the UI widgets. Correct, right? When we see this line graph last time in the part 1, what I showed you, I can zoom it, I can mouse on it, tooltip, all the features are coming. But when you go this same thing on a Jupyter with matplotlib or Seaborn, is it coming? No. So that is also important. This is also important. I'm not saying that. But that is the first step, our learning. This is the second step of to improve our learning or skills. Obviously, some point of time we need to showcase ourselves. Then only the people can recognize us. So that's a reason This is what this series I'm doing this, especially the Streamlit series, right? We are giving a gap because you are going to be understand and practice. Understand and practice. Understood, right? So if you guys have any queries and questions, please try to message it on the group. We can help you on this while you're doing a Streamlit. Right? So now this a part two has been completed about the layout and with the widgets, how it is going to be happens. Now in the part three series, we are going to be focused on this data analytics and data science, how we can able to incorporate. The same way again, the part two, what are the files I use it, and then show that how the output is coming, how it is written. All the files is going to be shared with you guys. Don't worry about it, right? I'll go into zip it and then share with you. You guys can for your practice. When you're doing that, if you have any questions, please ask me. And with that, the 30-day learning of Streamlit, which is already shared with you in the part one itself, right? So please try to go through that. Clear? So then we'll meet on the coming part three series. Online, any queries? Huh? Sir? Sorry, sir. మీరు పార్ట్ వన్ రాలేదా? ఓకే, సో అది మొత్తం ఆ వీడియో చూడొచ్చు కదా, పార్ట్ వన్ వీడియో. పార్ట్ వన్ వీడియో చూస్తే తెలిసిపోతుంది కదా. ఓకే, మనకి యూట్యూబ్లో ఉంటుంది, యూట్యూబ్ లింక్ ఉంటుంది, చూడొచ్చు మీరు. రికార్డ్ అయి ఉంటుంది సార్, మీరు అడగండి. మీరు గ్రూప్లో అదే అదే ముక్క గ్రూప్లో అడిగితే నేను హెల్ప్ చేసినవాడిని కదా సార్. మీకు అర్థమైందా? మీరేం మోమాట పడద్దు, రైట్? సో మీకు ఏం క్వారీస్ ఉన్నా ఎప్పుడైనా ఇక్కడ ఉంటాము, అడగచ్చు మీరు, రైట్? లేదు నేను గ్రూప్లో అడగలేనంటే పర్సనల్గానే వచ్చి అడగండి, మేము హెల్ప్ చేస్తాం సార్. డోంట్ వరీ. చెప్పండి.
Sir, is it responsive?
Mobile responsive? Yes, Amma. You can go there. Let's say right click on it, right? There is a mobile responsive will be there. There is an option here. To test it out, developers will use this feature. This is a responsive or not. Now you can see this is a responsive. Done. Understood, right? If you want, you can change the devices also, right? So you can test it with iPad Pro. iPad Pro is, I hope you know that it is going to be different. The width and height is going to be different. You can give your custom width and height also by going on to the responsive. You can give it and then you can test it. So this module is come up with the CSS. It's come up with the CSS and UI widgets. The CSS is made it by using the media, obviously CSS3. The CSS3 concept and agenda here it is responsive. CSS previously it's not responsive. Now CSS3 agenda here it is responsive. Based on the screen size, it has to be fit the content. That is a responsive because it has to support with the multiple. So that's how you guys have in a mobile that Chrome mobile browsers are there. Mobile browsers, how it is came because of the CSS3. If the CSS3 does not there in the market, there is no mobiles of browsers. There is no option at all for us. Understood, right? So this is the way it is going to be works. Understood? So simple, you can test it out. Or else if your device, let's say your mobile and your laptop is connected to the same network. If it is connected to the same network, now go to this your Wi-Fi settings, right? So there you can find out that if you go to the details which Wi-Fi you connected, it is going to give you your IP address, which one it is assigned. Let's say 192.168.1.43. Now what I need to do here it is to test it out really on your device. Rather than local host, I'm going to use 192.168.1.43 on your mobile. Open a mobile browser, enter the IP address colon 8501. You can see on your, but your both devices has to connect it to same network. This one we call as IPv4. private IPv4, not public IPv4. Right? So this is also one of the method you can able to test it on in a real device if you wanted to be tested on it. Understood, madam? Done? Done? Right? So we're going to be share it in by the second of, right? All the details of this source code with you as a zip again we'll share with you. So please practice. If you guys have any queries, please contact us. Online, anyone have any queries? Advait and Pravalika? Okay, so there no one is not responding. Okay, I'm ending this session. Thank you.